Please tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Is it visible? Is it visible, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. నేను మిమ్మల్ని present what I have asked is just a definition of static characteristics, measurement, what is measurement, comparison between standard value and known standard value and unknown quantity. Measurand means whatever the variable we are going to measure, that is known as measurand. These are the standard organizations, that is IBS means Indian Bureau of Standards, ISO means International Organization of Standards. And standards of measurements is, first one is primary standard given by the standard organizations. Accuracy is very high. Secondary standards, these standards are derived from the primary standards. These accuracy is somewhat moderate. These are given by the laboratories and the industrial organizations. And third one is working standards. These working standards are given by the technicians, workers and technicians. These standards are keeps on updating of each and every standard is going to be updated in the time interval format. Okay. And the methods of measurement is direct comparison method, indirect comparison methods. In that primary measurement, secondary measurement, tertiary measurement is also there. Primary measurement with respect to standard we are going to compare, whereas secondary measurement we are going to translate, we are going to convert or translate here secondary measurement, whereas tertiary measurement is we are going to convert two times. We are going to convert two times. This is the indirect measurement. Conversion process is going to be takes place two times here. Okay. And performance characteristics are again divided into two types, that is static characteristics and dynamic characteristics. Static means with respect to there is with respect to time there is changeover is very slow, or it is not going to be takes place with respect to time. That characteristics I can treat that it as static characteristics. In that we have seen accuracy in the single point format. Accuracy means it is the degree of closeness or correctness, single point. Hmm? Reminding all the sentence formation you can make later. Single point, degree of closeness or correctness of the true value of quantity. Simply precision, it is the term. Precision means precisely defined measure. It is just a reproducibility, it is just like a reproducibility. And the difference between precision and accuracy from this diagram you can clearly illustrate or figure out the what is the difference between accuracy and precision. So every accurate instrument can become precise instrument, but a precise instrument is not going to be accurate. What is error? It is the difference between measured value and true value. Correction means difference between true value and measured value. Range means it is the we are going to take low value and high value. Low value and high value, let it be that example is 0 to 100 degrees centigrade, like that. Span is the difference between high value and low value. This is the range and span differences. Repeatability and reproducibility. Repeatability means whenever we are taking out some measuring some quantity, in that while we are measuring some quantity by using some instrument, all the parameters, whatever the environment we are creating for measurement sake, there is no change in the measurement method. There is no change in measurement method. I am going to obtain the closeness of the output readings. I am going to obtain closeness of the output readings without any sort of measurement method. There is no change of measurement method is known as repeatability. Reproducibility means there is change in the measurement method. I am going to obtain the closeness of the output readings with the same set of input. There are change in the measurement method format. That changes can be done with respect to the observer, with respect to the measuring instrument, location, condition of use, and time of measurement. All these parameters will come into the picture. drift, it is a deviation or single point definition. We can call this as deviation or departure of the instrument output. Okay, we are supposed to maintain this drift should be as small as possible. This drift normally causes due to the mechanical effect, mechanical changeovers ఉండటం వల్ల instrument లో I am going to come across this drift. Okay, sensitivity, it is the change of output by change of input quantity. And the deflection factor is reciprocal of the sensitivity, that is S is equal to 1 by D, that is change in the input by change in the input quantity by change in output quantity. Linearity, the ability to reproduce, ability to reproduce is known as linearity, it is the definition. This linearity should not, this linearity means there should not be any sort of deviation in the output reading. That means output should be proportional to input here. This maximum deviation should be as small as possible. If this deviation is high, then nonlinearity is high. Hysteresis example is for one set of inputs, I am going to obtain the one curve in this format, loading the values. I am going to obtain this curve set of readings for again from output, from the maximum point to the low value. Whenever I am going from maximum value to the low value, that means unloading fashion, I am going to obtain other set of readings here. That is the, in this format I can obtain the hysteresis here. There is a changeover in the output readings with respect to the input side as well as from the loading side as well as from the unloading side. This is the difference. The difference is there from one set of readings to the other set of readings. That is that can be called, we can call it as hysteresis here. Okay, it is also we can compare. This hysteresis is going to be takes place in the mechanical instruments mainly. Threshold, it is a minimum value below which no output change can be detected. Minimum value, single point is minimum value. Resolution, this is the smallest incremental change. This is the smallest change. This is the smallest change, whereas threshold is the smallest measurable input we are giving here, whereas resolution is the smallest input change. Smallest input change, that is resolution. Threshold means smallest measurable input. Smallest measurable input. That is the difference between we have given in terms of problem. Please go through that one. Dead zone, dead zone, dead zone, it is the largest change in the input quantity for which there is no output. That is known as dead zone. Dead time, it is that instrument is going to take some time to respond. That is known as dead time. Noise, there are different noises are there with respect to the electronics. There are different noise with respect to resistors, capacitors, transistors, capacitors, transistors, and Johnson noise, white noise. Different noises are there, and due to the power supply filters and the radiation noise, different noises are there. Dynamic characteristics. In this dynamic characteristics, we are going to take some response. That response consists of steady state as well as transient state. Steady state, is simply the response when it reaches to the infinite, whereas transient is a part of the response which goes to zero as time becomes large. First one is the speed of response. How the instrument is going to respond, how fastly that instrument is going to respond, that is known as speed of response here. This is the desirable feature. This is the desirable feature. And measuring lag, this is the undesirable feature. Some delay is there in the output, some delay is there in the response of the measurement system. That delay can be given in terms of lag, that is retardation lag and time delay lag. Okay. And fidelity, this is the desirable feature. This is also desirable feature. It is the degree to which a measurement system indicates a change in the measured quantity without any dynamic error. That is known as fidelity. Dynamic error, this dynamic error is a undesirable feature. This is the measurement error. It is just like a measurement error. Okay. These are the dynamic characteristics. Okay, please go through these static characteristics and dynamic characteristics once again. These are very important. Next one, types of errors. Types of errors. This in these types of errors, we are supposed to learn different types of errors are there. For why we are learning these errors means to know how those errors are causing the changeover in the instrument, change over the instrument readings instrument readings, how those errors are causing the effect upon the instrument reading. If we know those errors, and then we can easily rectify those errors, and we can make our instrument we can make our instrument to work in a proper way, and we can calibrate our instrument in a proper way. By knowing these errors, these types of errors, the accuracy of the instrument can be increased by knowing these different types of errors. That is our main motto. First one, gross errors. First one is gross errors. Second one is systematic errors. In that systematic errors, again it is divided into three types. That is instrumental errors, environmental errors, observational errors, and the third one is random errors. First one, gross errors. These gross errors are human mistakes. It is just like a human mistakes. It is going to be caused by human mistakes here. Okay, this is done due to the human errors, that is reading the instrument not properly. We are not going to read the instrument in a proper way. We are making the instrument we are making the instrument working in improper way. That is the This is due to the human errors, that is reading the instrument not properly, a wrong adjustment by making the adjustment improper way, and not using the instrument properly. Computational mistakes due to circuit connections, not setting the instrument to zero, not setting to instrument to zero, etc. Any mistake by human is called gross error. Any mistake done by the human is known as gross error. This is the gross error. Okay, these errors can be reduced by taking care in reading, recording the measured data, and taking more number of readings. More number of readings. ఇప్పుడు for example, I am taking only 10 readings. I am taking only 10 readings. By taking 30 to 50 readings, I can minimize that error quantity. I can minimize the error quantity by taking the average of every reading. By taking all the quantity average, I can minimize the whatever the resultant value can be resultant error can be minimized by taking the average of all the quantity here. In this way, we can minimize that error. These errors can be reduced by taking care in reading the recording the measured data and taking more number of readings here. That means the correction factor and the calibrating of the instrument is possible here. This is about gross error. Gross error means it is just like a human mistakes. It is going to be human mistakes. Due to these human mistakes, I am going to cause these gross errors here. And next one is systematic error. These are due to the shortcomings of the instrument. It is mainly due to instrument ఇది ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ సైడ్ అమ్మా. మెయిన్గా గ్రాస్ ఎర్రర్స్ అనేది ఏంటంటే హ్యూమన్ సైడ్, whereas systematic error is from the instrument side. These are due to the shortcomings of the instrument, that is effective aging, and also due to the effect of environment on the instrument here. Instrumental error, these are the errors inherent in the measuring instrument here. Measuring instrument ఇన్బిల్ట్ సమ్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటాయి, సమ్ డెఫిషియన్సీ ఉంటే ఏంటంటే కాజ్ అయ్యే ఎర్రర్స్ని మనం ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ అంటాం అనమాట. అది దీస్ ఆర్ ది ఎర్రర్స్ ఇన్హరెంట్ ఇన్ ది మెజరింగ్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ మెకానికల్ స్ట్రక్చర్లో ఉన్న డిఫెక్ట్స్ కానీ, ఏదైనా ఒక కాంపోనెంట్ వేరే టైర్ అయిపోవటం వల్ల కానీ వచ్చే ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ని మనం ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంటల్ ఎర్రర్స్ అని చెప్పి అనొచ్చు అనమాట. They reduced by it can be reduced by the correction factor or the calibration. Okay, and environmental errors, these are due to the external conditions of the measuring device. Measuring device is placed in some environment. That environment is not supporting, not in the supporting fashion, and then I can acquire some a changeover in the instrument. That changeover is caused mainly because of environmental changes due to the temperature change, or due to the some humidity change. Due to the temperature change, or humidity change, the instrument is giving out some odd type of output here. That is those type of errors I can treat that it errors as environmental errors here. These are due to the external conditions of the measuring devices, such as temperature, pressure, electrical and mechanical fields, etc. This can be reduced by air conditioning. Air conditioning, like our PCs or laptops are maintained in the air conditioning. They will work in the they are going to be maintained in the good function for, they are going to work in the good sophisticated environment by properly maintained in AC. Whereas if we are going to place these pieces or systems in the heat producing environment, it is not going to work properly. Hanging of the system may takes place. Like that, we should maintain our instrument in the proper environment. Okay. Here, these can be reduced by air conditioning, hermetical sealing. That means in a closed structure, I am going to place that proper sealing of the instrument, as well as some proper measures by taking some proper measures. Hermetical sealing. That means hermetical means protecting sealing. Protecting sealing by giving out some protecting sealing, I can avoid this condition. అండ్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ షీల్డింగ్ ఆల్సో. మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ వల్ల కూడా కొంచెం ఎర్రర్స్ రావచ్చు అనమాట ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్లో. అది మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ షీల్డింగ్ ఎక్సెట్రా. ద చేంజ్ ఇన్ టెంపరేచర్, the change, this is the change in temperature will proportional to the change in the elastic property of any instrument. That means a change in the pressure. It may gives the stray capacitances also. Due to this change in temperature, I can make some changes in the elastic properties of the instrument. Change in the pressure levels also, I can make some change in the measuring conditions. Stray capacitances, all these terms, environmental errors are going to be takes place. Third one is observational errors. These errors are caused by the observer, that is due to the parallax error in reading. Due to the parallax error, ఇప్పుడు for example, one mirror is there in our voltmeters and ammeters. In analog type of measuring devices, one mirror is there at the back side of the pointer. If we take the accurate reading of the pointer, I can read out what is the actual value. If I consider the readings of if I considering the I am noting the readings by considering the mirror. Mirror means I can get some parallax error here. Mirror వైపు చూస్తూ తీసుకున్నాం అనుకున్నాం రీడింగ్స్, నాకు యాక్చువల్ వాల్యూ పాయింటర్ని చూస్తూ తీసుకుంటే ఒకలా ఉంటుంది, మిర్రర్ చూస్తూ తీసుకుంటే రీడింగ్ ఒకలా వస్తుంది. Am I audible, students? Is my screen visible to you? Is it visible? Anyone please respond?
Yes, sir.
ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు నాకు నెట్ కొంచెం స్లోగా ఉందమ్మా, అది ఇప్పుడే ఎందుకని డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వచ్చింది. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ వరకు చెప్పిన టాపిక్, ఇక్కడ ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ ఎర్రర్స్ వరకు వినిపించిందా నేను చెప్పిన టాపిక్? ఏ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ లేకుండా. ఆర్ యూ ఫాలోయింగ్ మై లెక్చర్? ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Next one is observational errors. These are errors caused by the observer due to the parallax error in reading, that is wrong scaling reading, reduced to some extent by taking the readings carefully. అట్లాగా మిర్రర్ parallax error ఏంటంటే, ఆ మిర్రర్ ఉండటం వల్ల I can get some parallax error. Like that, I can obtain some wrong scaling readings also. By taking the proper, by taking proper it can be reduced to some extent by taking the readings carefully here, because instruments with mirrors, knife edges, pointers, etc., I can cause this observational errors here. Okay, Next one is random errors. Random errors are unknown errors. These are unknown. These are errors that remain after that remain these are errors that remain after gross systematic errors have been reduced. This is due to the accumulation of a large number of small effects and becomes important at high degree of accuracy, and these errors are due to unknown causes and cannot be determined easily. అంటే కొన్నిసార్లు ఏంటంటే రీజన్ కూడా తెలియదు అనమాట మనకి. ఆ పర్టికులర్ రీజన్ ఏంటో అర్థం కాదు. ఆ ఎఫెక్ట్ డిఫరెంట్ కండిషన్స్ వల్ల మనకి ప్రాపర్గా అవుట్పుట్ అనేది రాదనమాట ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ నుంచి. రెస్పాండ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ పాసిబుల్, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు గివ్ సమ్ errors here. Those errors I can treat those errors as random errors here. Okay, these errors remains after the ఈ ఎర్రర్స్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, గ్రాస్ ఎర్రర్స్ అని తీసేసిన సిస్టమాటిక్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఎర్రర్స్ తీసేసినప్పటికి కూడా సమ్ ఎర్రర్ ఇస్ దేర్, దట్ ఎర్రర్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ ర్యాండమ్ ఎర్రర్ హియర్. దిస్ ఈస్ డ్యూ టు ది accumulation of large number of small effects and becomes important at a high degree of accuracy, and these errors are due to the unknown causes and cannot be determined easily, but only to some extent. By statistical analysis we can reduce these errors here, and more number of readings. By taking more number of readings I can reduce this type of errors here. That is best approximation of true value of quantity. Okay, again resolution is provided here, and this is the statistical analysis. ఇక్కడ నుంచి కొంచెం మీరు తీసుకున్న కీనోట్ రాసుకోవడానికి మీరు ఒక బుక్ పెట్టమన్నాను కదమ్మా, ఇది తీసుకోండి, బుక్ తీసుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు A4 షీట్ ఆర్ బుక్ తీసుకోండి, ఈ పాయింట్స్ నోట్ చేసుకోండి. స్టాటిస్టికల్ అనాలిసిస్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మిమ్మల్ని ఎగ్జామ్లో అడగచ్చు ఈ స్టాటిస్టికల్ అనాలిసిస్ కూడా. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ అర్థమెటిక్ మీన్. Arithmetic mean, let it be, I am going to consider some readings here. Let it be x1, x2, x3, so on, xn readings, and this is the total number of readings I am taking. This is the arithmetic mean. X some vector quantity like that I can consider here. That is arithmetic mean, most probable value of measured variable here. Arithmetic mean means most probable value of measured variable. I can treat that it as arithmetic mean here. That is sum of these x readings, that is sum of x by n. Total number of, this is the total. This is the total number of readings. This is the total number of readings. From this I can tell this is the arithmetic mean. Most probable value of the measured variable is known as arithmetic mean. Next one is each and every I am going to obtain some arithmetic mean. After obtaining this arithmetic mean, I can get some deviation here. Some deviation I am obtaining in my readings. I am going to calculate what is the deviation. What is the deviation? The deviation d. I am supposed to calculate that deviation d. The deviation d can be given. Let it be, I am going to consider the first reading here, x1 reading minus this arithmetic mean, and similarly this is the first deviation. First reading ఏంటి, x1 reading తీసుకున్నాను, arithmetic mean లో డిఫరెన్స్ చూసాను అనమాట, ఎంత వస్తుంది డీవియేషన్ అని చెప్పి నోట్ చేసుకున్నాను ఈ డీవియేషన్. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ డీవియేషన్ d2, that is second reading x2 minus x bar. The x2 minus x bar, that is arithmetic mean, and I am noting this value also, second deviation. And third deviation, similarly third deviation, and so on. Nth deviation I am going to note it down with respect to the xn minus x bar, that is arithmetic mean. And by taking all these deviations, let it be, I am going to take some 10 deviations like that. I am going to take 10 deviations like that. By taking the 10, let it be some positive values, 5 readings వచ్చినాయి అనుకోండమ్మా, and negative values I am going to obtain 5 readings. And these summation of this positive 5 values and negative 5 values is going to be 0. The sum of these deviations is going to be 0. మనం డీవియేషన్స్ అంతా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మన రీడింగ్స్ కరెక్ట్గా ఉన్నాయో లేదో చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి అంటే మనకి పాజిటివ్ రీడింగ్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ నెగిటివ్ రీడింగ్ రెండూ వస్తాయి అనమాట డీవియేషన్లో 10 రీడింగ్స్ తీసినప్పుడు. అదొక సింపుల్ టిప్ అనమాట. సింపుల్ టిప్లో అది చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. డీవియేషన్స్ మనకు వచ్చిన 10 నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ డీవియేషన్స్ని మనం చూస్తే పాజిటివ్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ నెగిటివ్ రెండు క్యాన్సిల్స్ అవుట్ అయిపోయి ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ ది algebraic sum of deviations is equal to 0. And next one is average deviations. This indicates precision of the instrument here. Average deviations is mainly useful for to calculate the precision of the instruments here. That is given by I am going to take these deviations here d1 d2 d3. ఇప్పుడు నాకు వచ్చిన ఈ డీవియేషన్స్ కొన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఏమో నెగిటివ్ వాల్యూస్ రావచ్చు, కొన్ని వాల్యూస్ పాజిటివ్ వాల్యూస్ రావచ్చు. దేర్ ఫోర్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ mod here. I'm taking the mod for each and every deviation. The deviation is mod d1 plus mod d2 mod d3 and so on mod dn by n, total number of readings. That is summation of mod deviations by n. Okay, and this is about average deviation, capital D. First one is arithmetic mean, second one is deviations from mean, and third one is average deviations. Average deviations is given by sum of mod d by n. Next one is root mean square deviation. Root mean square deviation, that is we can call this root mean square deviation as standard deviation here. That standard deviation sigma. That's a standard deviation sigma. This standard deviation is used for analysis of random errors. For the analysis of random errors, I am going to take this mainly analysis of random error sake. I am going to take this standard deviation sigma here. This is the standard deviation sigma for infinite values. It is going to I am take this formula for infinite number of values. అక్కడ ఎన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయో నాకు తెలియదు అనమాట క్లియర్గా. దట్ ఈస్ వీ కెన్ కాల్ దిస్ యాజ్ ఇన్ఫైనైట్. ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ కన్సిడరింగ్ ది ఫైనైట్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ వాల్యూస్, లెట్ ఇట్ బి సమ్ 10 20 30 readings. I know what is the total number of readings are there. I can use this formula finite. This standard deviation for infinite number of readings, this is the formula, and this is the standard deviation for finite, this is the formula. Whereas this is the infinite formula can be given by square root of d1 square plus d2 square so on dn square by n here. That is equal to square root of summation of d, that is summation of dt square by n. Okay, similarly this is for infinite. ఇక్కడ డినామినేటర్లో ఎన్ వచ్చిందమ్మా, డినామినేటర్లో ఎన్ ఉంటుంది ఇన్ఫైనైట్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రీడింగ్స్కి. అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ స్టాండర్డ్ డీవియేషన్, దట్ ఈస్ సిగ్మా, that is finite values. For finite values, that is given by square root of d1 square d2 square so on dn square by n minus 1. That is the basic difference between infinite and finite values. That is given by, in short, square root of sigma dt square by n minus 1. Okay, this is the standard deviation sigma for infinite as well as finite. Next one, variance or mean square deviation. Variance or mean square deviation. This variance can be called as additive also, and this is the mean square deviation here. That variance is given by the formula v is equal to sigma square. V is equal to sigma square, variance formula. Okay, mean square deviation, we can also call it as mean square deviation here. Next one, here these are the formulas. ఈ ఫార్ములాస్ రాసుకున్నారమ్మా? Please note it down. Arithmetic mean formula, deviation from the means formula, average deviations, standard deviation, that is root mean square deviation or standard deviation sigma for infinite value as well as finite values, variance or mean square deviation, b is equal to sigma square. Please note down all these formula, please. The following table shows the 50 voltage readings of the voltmeter taken at 0.1 interval. Each and every reading interval is 0.1. First reading is 99.7, second reading is 99.8. Number of readings for this one reading, for this one 4, for this 12, 19, 10, 3. The difference, the interval difference is 0.1 volt, that is given here. The series of measurements are presented graphically in the form of block diagram or histogram. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ వోల్టేజ్ రీడింగ్స్ని, ఈ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రీడింగ్స్ని ఒక గ్రాఫ్ ప్లాట్ చేస్తానమ్మా. ఈ 2 రీడింగ్స్, ఈ ట్యాబ్లర్ కాలం యూస్ చేసి ఒక గ్రాఫ్ ప్లాట్ చేస్తానమాట. ఆ గ్రాఫ్ని నేను ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ట్రీట్ దట్ గ్రాఫ్ యాజ్ ఏ హిస్టోగ్రామ్ హియర్. ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ట్రీట్ దట్ గ్రాఫ్ యాజ్ బ్లాక్ డయాగ్రామ్ or histogram. That is, it is in the inverted parabolic shape. It is going to be takes place. It is just like a Gaussian shape. It is going to be looks like this one. Here first reading 99.7. One number of readings is 1. Okay, next one is 99.8, 4. And next reading is 99.9, 12. Number of readings is 12. Next one is 100, for 100, 19. For 100.1, 10. 100.2, 3. 100.3, 1. I will draw this line from this first set of readings to last block. Till this last block, I am going to draw this shape. Like this. This is known as histogram here. I can treat this as histogram. Okay, this is just like a Gaussian curve. We can plot the graph like this by using the voltage readings as well as number of readings. Okay, here the larger number of readings occurs at central value of 100 volt, while other readings are placed more or less symmetrically on either side of the central value. This bell-shaped curve is known as Gaussian curve. Okay, the sharper or the narrower curve, the observer can state the center value or mean reading is the true value. ఈ సెంటర్ వాల్యూని మనం మీన్ రీడింగ్గా తీసుకుంటాం అనమాట. 100ని మీన్ రీడింగ్గా తీసుకుంటాం ఆర్ సెంటర్ వాల్యూ అని చెప్పి చెప్తున్నారు అనమాట. అది ఓకే. The another example is provided. This is one type of taking the readings like this one. Another example is also provided. A set of independent current measurements was taken by 6 observers and recorded as 12.8, 12.2, 12.5, 13.1, 12.9, 12.4 milliamps. Calculate arithmetic mean, deviations from the mean, and root mean square value as well as variance value can be calculated. First one, arithmetic mean. They have given some 6 number of readings here. 6 number of readings are provided. I am taking all the summation of all the 6 readings by total number of readings 6. Then arithmetic mean value is 12.65 milliamps. Next one, deviations. I am supposed to calculate what is the deviations here, and I am going to calculate the deviation. First deviation is d1 is equal to x1 minus x bar, that is mean part. That means 12.8 minus 12.65, that is 0.15 milliamp. D2 part, similarly D2 part I can calculate, that is x2 part. X2 12.2 minus 12.65, that is minus 0.45 milliamps. Similarly, I can calculate D3, D4, D5, D6 values. Here, after calculating these deviations, I can obtain. I have told that 3 readings here, 6 number of readings are provided here. Therefore, 3 readings are in the positive format, and the remaining 3 readings are in the negative format. Here, this value is positive, this value is positive, this value is positive, and the same set of readings should be come across in the negative values should be come across here. That is 0.45 minus 0.45, 0.15 minus 0.15, 0.25 minus 0.25. Then only average, this is the sum of deviations is equal to 0. Here we have acquired sum of all the deviations is 0. 3 values are positive and 3 values are negative. All those values are cancelled out, and I am going to obtain sum of all the deviations is equal to 0. And next one, we are supposed to calculate, this is the fourth one actually. This is the fourth one. Average deviations here. Average deviations, capital D, is given by mod D1 plus mod D2 mod D3, and all the readings are 6. Mod D6 by 6. And all the values I am considering here as positive. Then that value is given by 0.283. 0.283. 0.283 is 0.283, and this is the average deviation value. Average deviation value. Thereafter I can obtain this root mean square value. This root mean square value, calculate this root mean square value by using this formula. By using this formula, this is the one. Sigma finite by square root of d1 square plus d2 square so on dn square by finite values ఏగా మనకుంది 6 values కదా, అప్పుడేం ఫార్ములా తీసుకోవాలి, ఈ ఫార్ములా తీసుకోవాలి. We are supposed to take this formula. Then by by substituting all these values I am going to acquire the value that is 0.33. Okay, from this 0.33 I can obtain the variance also here. That variance V is equal to sigma square, that is equal to 0.115. Okay, this is in this way we can calculate all the statistical analysis terms. Statistical analysis terms ను మనం అనలైజ్ చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. Next one is random error, probable error. Probable error, it is in the range of minus plus sigma to the minus sigma, or it is from the range of positive infinity to the negative infinity, like that. I am going to take here. I am going to take this is also important for probable error. I am not going to discuss more elaborately. Why? Because this is I am limiting this topic to this extent only. If you are more interested, please go through this topic more elaborately. For this, for time being sake, I am just limiting this topic here to this formula only. Probable error R is equal to 0.6745 sigma. Probable error is given by this formula. That means I am going to consider this negative mean square values as well as positive mean square values. I am going to obtain negative errors here, positive errors here. In between the region of probable error I am going to consider here. The region of probable error I am going to consider, that is from the range of minus R to the positive R. This is the region of probable error. That region of probable error is going to be considered with respect to the root mean square value sigma as well as this region of probable error. This is the relation between the probable error and the root mean square value sigma here. Therefore, it is given by 0.6745 sigma. Okay, I can accommodate this formula also into our statistical analysis. Okay, this curve for normal law or limiting form of histogram. This is the limiting form of histogram. Please try to draw this diagram also. ఏదైనా histogram అంటే ఈ diagram draw చేయడానికి చూడండి. Okay, here again one more problem is provided with some 10 number of readings. 10 readings తో ప్రొవైడ్ చేశారనమాట. ఇన్ దిస్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ రీడింగ్స్ ఐ కెన్ టేక్ దిస్ రీడింగ్స్ యాజ్ x1 x2. ఆ టేబుల్లోనే మనం ఇట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అన్నమాట. డీవియేషన్స్ డి క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, అండ్ స్క్వేర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ డీవియేషన్ డి స్క్వేర్ ఆల్సో వీ కెన్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్. దిస్ ఈస్ x1 to x10 డీవియేషన్స్ పార్ట్, డి స్క్వేర్ పార్ట్. ఓకే, from these readings I can calculate what is arithmetic mean, that is given like this. That is sigma x by n, that is 1013 by 10, that is 101.3 ohms, and average deviation sigma d by n, that is equal to sigma mod d by n, that is 1.4 by 10, that is equal to 0.14. Okay, standard deviation sigma or standard deviation sigma root mean square value also. This is for finite value, therefore square root of d square by n minus 1. This is the d square value, summation of d square value, that is 0.36. I am substituting here 0.36 by n minus 1 is 9, that is equal to 0.2 ohms. Please again go through this material. Please try to practice this one. This is very important. Okay, variance V is equal to sigma square, that is equal to 0.2 whole square, 0.04, and probable error small r is equal to is given by 0.6745 sigma, that is the this is the probable error 0.1349 ohms. Again I am providing this probable error. Please go through this one. This probable error region is 68.68%, that is two-thirds. Two-thirds. Probable error of mean can also be given as 0.614 by sigma by square root of n minus 1. With respect to the finite number of readings, we can use this formula. Okay. In this way, we can make the statistical analysis of any instrumental readings here. Okay, from the statistical analysis, I can calculate what is the deviation part. From the deviation part, what is the arithmetic mean, what is that root mean square value, what is that variance value, probable value can be calculated. Okay. Essential requirement. This is the just for knowing sake. Please go through this essential requirement of instrument. In this instrument, we will each and every moving system of any instrument consists of these systems here. Deflecting system consists of deflecting torque, control system consists of control torque, damping system consists of damping torque, like that. Okay. In that deflecting system, this is the deflecting system is a that force or torque deflects the pointer here, and system which produces such a deflection torque is given by TD here, is called deflecting system. Deflecting torque overcomes the inertia of the moving system. Controlling torque provided by the controlling system. Damping torque provided by damping system. ఇందాక చెప్పిన point again repeated here. The deflecting system uses one of the following effects here. Those effects are produced by the current or voltage to produce the deflecting torque. Those effects ఎందుకు వస్తాయంటే mainly because of magnetic field. Magnetic effect వల్ల వస్తుంది అనమాట. That current carrying conductor is placed in the uniform magnetic field. It expresses some force. Some force is going to be exerted by that some force is going to be exerted, and due to that exerted force, that movement in the pointer may takes place here. The applications of this magnetic effect is moving iron attraction and repulsion type, and permanent magnet moving coil type of instruments లో ఈ magnetic effect చూస్తాం అన్నమాట. And thermal effect. Current to be measured is passed through the small element which heats it to cause rise in the temperature, which is converted to an EMF by the thermocouple attached to it. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం ఈ థర్మల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్, మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ అన్ని డీటెయిల్డ్గా చూస్తాం మా ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్స్లో. జస్ట్ ఫర్ నోయింగ్ సేక్ ఒకసారి ఓవర్వ్యూలో చూద్దాం అంతే. This is thermocouple consists of two dissimilar metals are attached together, and EMF is going to be produced from that junction. Okay, electrostatic effect. When two plates are charged, there is a force exerted between them which moves one of the plates. This effect is going to be used in voltmeters here. Induction effect. When a non-magnetic conducting disk is placed in the magnetic field produced by the electromagnets, which are excited by an alternating current, and EMF is induced in it. If a closed path is provided, there is a flow of current in the disk. The interaction between the induced currents and the alternating magnetic fields exerts a force on the disk which causes to move it. The interaction is called induction effect. Interaction anedi ee magnetic and current fields valla interaction anedi it is going to cause some induction effects here. This type of effect we can come across in energy meters here. Next one is Hall effect. We know this Hall effect. That means the semiconductor material is placed in the magnetic field, and if the bar is carrying and if the bar carries some current, then a EMF is produced between the two edges of the conductor. The magnitude of this EMF depends upon the flux density of the magnetic field, current passing through the conducting bar, and the Hall effect quotient, which is a constant for a given semiconductor material. This type of effect we can come across in flux meters. Next one is control systems. Controlling system. it produces the force equal opposite to the deflection force in order to make the deflection of the pointer at a different magnitude. In the system here, if the system is absent, then the pointer will swing beyond its final steady state position for the given magnitude, and deflection will become indefinite అవ్వచ్చు అనమాట. అట్లా డిఫ్లెక్షన్ అనేది ఎక్కువగా పాయింటర్ అనేది ఎక్కువ మూవ్ అయిపోయింది అనుకున్నాము. ఆ పాయింటర్ ఎక్కువ మూవ్ అయితే ఇండెఫినెట్ డిఫ్లెక్షన్ లాగా కూడా అవ్వచ్చు అనమాట. అది ఏంటంటే this brings the moving system back to again we are supposed to అది ఎక్కువగా మూవ్ అయిపోతే దాన్ని మళ్ళీ మనం జీరో పొజిషన్ తీసుకురావాలి, దాన్ని క్యాలిబ్రేట్ చేసుకొని కరెక్ట్గా పొజిషన్లో పెట్టుకొని మళ్ళీ మూమెంట్ కరెక్ట్గా ఉండేలా చేయాలన్నమాట. అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఎంత ఫోర్సు ఇవ్వాలి, ఎంత ఎంత కరెంట్ ఇవ్వాలి ఒక సిస్టమ్కి, ఎంత వోల్టేజ్ సప్లై చేయాలి ఒక సిస్టమ్కి అనేది డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది అనమాట ఈ కంట్రోల్ సిస్టమ్ మీద, ఆ పాయింటర్ మూమెంట్స్ మీద అనేది చెప్తున్నాడు మెయిన్ పాయింట్. ఓకే, next one is controlling torque is mainly caused due to the springs. Deflecting system, deflecting torque, it will create some deflecting torque. It is mainly causes due to the friction, and we know what is critical damping, under damping, over damping from the control systems. Critical damping means reaching it to the final position rapidly but smoothly without oscillation. Critical damping means without oscillations. Moving the system will oscillate about the final steady state position with a decreasing amplitude is known as under damping. Over damping means so amplitude is very high, but it is in this sluggish nature that movement will takes place in this sluggish nature. Practically under damped systems are preferred. Okay, these are the basic quantities in the electrical measurements are and the electrical measurements like current measurement, voltage measurement, power measurement. These current measurements, ammeters, we can come across these effects. These effects we may come across here. Voltmeters, voltage for measurement of voltage, power meters or watt meters for measurement of power. The action of almost all the analog meters, voltmeters, depends upon the deflecting torque produced by the electric current here. Okay, in this way this permanent magnet PMMC meter is very important, for moment of this deflection of the meter. ఆ మీటర్లో డిఫ్లెక్షన్ ఎట్లా వస్తుంది ఏంటి, ద అరేంజ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పిఎంఎంసి మీటర్ అనేది ఇది ఫస్ట్ బేసిక్ అమ్మ. ఈ ఫస్ట్ బేసిక్ మీటర్లో మూమెంట్ ఎట్లా వస్తుంది ఏంటనేది ఇది నేర్చుకున్న తర్వాత దిస్ మీటర్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు యూస్ ఇన్ ది యామ్ మీటర్స్, వోల్ట్ మీటర్స్, ఓమ్ మీటర్స్, లైక్ దట్ multimeters also we can place this PMMC meter in different types of applications also. What are those applications we will see in the subsequent sessions. Okay students, I'm going to start the session here. The presently for this session is very low. Why? Because I don't know. Please try to come in the regular format, then only you can understand each and every topic, and you can score good marks in internal as well as external. Okay, try to come regularly. That is basic point. మీరు రెగ్యులర్గా లేకపోతే ఆటోమేటిక్గా సబ్జెక్ట్ నీకు దూరం అయింది అంతే. రెగ్యులర్గా లేకపోతే ఏంటంటే సబ్జెక్ట్ నీకు దూరం అయింది, ఆ సబ్జెక్టు నువ్వు ఎంత దగ్గర అవ్వాలనుకున్నా కుదరదు అనమాట. వేరే వాటికి నువ్వు దగ్గర అయ్యావనుకో అసలుది నీకు పోయిద్ది. అట్లా ఆ సిచ్యువేషన్ తెచ్చుకోవద్దు. అసలు బేసిక్ ఫీచర్ ఏంటి, స్టూడెంట్ అనేవాడు కరెక్ట్గా చదువుకొని కరెక్ట్గా పాస్ అవుట్ అయితే మనకి జాబ్ అనేది కరెక్ట్ టైంలో వచ్చింది. అదే జాబ్ రాలేదనుకో మనం బీటెక్ 4 years అయిన తర్వాత 5th year 6th year వెయిటింగ్ స్టేట్లో ఉండకూడదు అనమాట. కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్లో స్టార్వేషన్ అంటారు. స్టార్వేషన్ అంటే ఒక students, I am ending the session. You can leave now. Thank you one and all.